Hello, welcome from Frankfurt and to this big review about the Sony Alpha 6300. This is the unboxing of the Alpha 6300. In the box you will find the body that weighs 14.2 ounces, including the rechargeable battery and the SD card. By the way, you definitely need a second battery, because the performance is really bad. Scrolling through the menu took 3% of the battery for 2 minutes. But there's more: an AC adapter, a micro USB cable, a shoulder strap, eyepiece cup, and in this case the kit lens, which is the 16 to 15mm f3.5 to 5.6. This APS-C sensor camera measures 4.7 inches in length, 2.6 inches in height and 1.9 inches in depth. The Sony Alpha 6300 is equipped with a micro USB port for transferring files and to charge the camera via every USB port. Besides that, we have a micro HDMI port and a connection for an external microphone like this RODE Videomic Micro. The camera features Wi-Fi and NFC as well for transferring photos without any additional network to your smartphone. On the bottom side we have a standard tripod mount aside from the battery that lasts not very long, so make sure you get a second one. And sometimes the SD card is not that easy to be removed. The 3-inch LCD screen, which is not a touchscreen, has a resolution of 921,000 dots. You may flip the screen 90 degrees up and 45 degrees down. There are a bunch of features that may be displayed on this screen. The 0.4-inch electronic viewfinder has a resolution of approximately 2.4 million dots. It gives 100% field coverage and you may change the frame rate of the electronic viewfinder as well. It's one of the sharpest viewfinders I've ever looked through. And now enjoy some more shots. The upper mode dial has several functions for you. There's a panorama mode as well. Within the menu you'll be able to change the turn direction of the panorama as well. Just follow the arrow on your screen and there is your final panorama photo without any additional software. The photo will be published in JPEG. The Sony Alpha 6300 is a system camera with exchangeable lenses, in this case with the kit lens the 16 to 15mm. You zoom by turning the front ring on the lens or with the much smoother side switch on the lens. The Alpha 6300 offers scene mode as well. It gives the best setting for a specific shot, for instance a low light shot, sport or portrait photo. The macro mode did not work that well in our case because the camera tried to focus the background instead of the flower in front. There are several picture effects as well, for instance a monochrome, HDR or pop-up color photo. By the way, 24 megapixel give you enough resolution for a huge canvas print. The new Alpha 6300 features 4K video now with up to 30 frames per second. You may shoot full HD videos with up to 120 frames per second for great slow motion videos while skating or playing football. And now this camera supports S-Log 2 and 3 as well for post-color grading. Switching between NTSC and PAL is possible, but it takes a cheeky amount of time. Unfortunately, the Alpha 6300 does not feature an optical stabilizer. The sound level may be controlled manually. The Sony Alpha 6300 has a nice grip and feels pretty valuable. The camera weighs in combination with the 16 to 50mm lens 22 ounces and it's easy to hold even with one hand. After turning on the camera, it will be ready to use within 2 seconds. We're here to see the practice of the Samsung Universe Frankfurt team. This camera is equipped with a fast hybrid autofocus. It offers 425 points and focuses without any delay. There are 4 AF modes: the automatic AF, single shot AF, continuous AF or direct manual focus. The electronic shutter allows shutter speeds up to 4,000ths of a second. For those of you who want to take photos of the night sky, you may use the maximum exposure time of 30 seconds. In burst mode you may shoot 11 photos per second. Make sure you use a SD card with a high transfer rate, especially while shooting in RAW and fine JPEG. And because it fits to this situation, we are going to test the low light performance on this APS-C sensor camera. Till ISO 12800 we have really good results. The colors are still saturated and the noise performance is quite good. Unfortunately, the full frame sensor of my Canon EOS 5D Mark II does not perform that well. Here's the comparison. And of course you may use the Alpha 6300 as a vlogging camera as well, but I don't see what I'm recording because it's not equipped with a flippy display. Besides the possibility to mount an external flash on top of the Sony's hot shoe, you can use the internal flash as well. It's kind of tricky to extend the internal flash, make sure you press the flash button hard and precise. Let's get to my conclusion. Unfortunately, for the beginning of my conclusion I have to mention that the menu of the Sony Alpha 6300 is overloaded, like a lot of other cameras from Sony. A colored menu would assist a user. But there are great features like 4K with S-Log and Full HD video with up to 120 frames for great slow motion videos. The quick autofocus works perfectly with up to 11 photos per second. One of the highlights is the electronic viewfinder, which is sharp, and you may also display all the settings like a bubble level or exposure settings in the viewfinder. The 24 megapixel sensor is probably good for most of the users, and it has a stunning low light performance as well. If you're not happy with all the E-mount lenses that Sony offers, you may also use different lenses from Tamron, Sigma, Nikon and Canon as well, with an adapter by Metabones called Metabones Speed Booster. Towards the Alpha 6000 we now have a body with a magnesium alloy. The battery is charged via the micro USB port and lasts unfortunately for only 350 photos, so make sure to get a second one. The camera is good for outdoor photography as well because it is dust and splash protected. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Akbar and Roberto. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. State any question as a comment please. Subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye. Hold on. The photos and video files are available as a download in the description below.